Hello everyone, my name is Derek and welcome to the Netflix Knowhow, the review show here to help you stop browsing and start watching. Today we have The Wave. Now some of you might remember back in middle school when you may have had to watch a made-for-TV movie about a high school teacher who starts this weird club/social experiment type thing, and all of his students end up becoming Nazis because of it. That movie was also called The Wave, and it was remade in the mid-2000s as a German film, which ended up being quite fantastic as well. Now the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because this movie, this Wave, has nothing to do with any of those versions. The Wave that I'm talking about today is a Norwegian film from a few years ago about a literal tidal wave. The movie is about this little Norwegian town in the middle of the mountains next to a lake, and one of the mountains has been threatening to fall off and into the lake for a long time, which will in turn trigger a massive tidal wave that will sweep through the valley and destroy the whole town. Why would anyone opt to live next to something like this? It's pretty? The main character is a scientist who has been following this mountainside for a very long time, and he's actually just about to leave with his family because he's taken a new job, and wouldn't you know it, right before he's about to take off, the whole mountain falls off into the lake and poof, big wave, and there's all sorts of bad things that happen. Now right off the bat, I do want to say that yes, this is a disaster movie. And if you're like me and you are used to American disaster movies where there's lots of special effects and big action scenes and it's just stuff happening all the time, this one is going to be a lot different. This is actually a disaster movie where there's not actually all that much disaster in it. I would say that the actual disaster part of the movie, the actual wave, is only in it for maybe like 10 minutes. Like, it happens, it wipes out the town, and boom, that's it. There's no more disaster. That's the end of the wave part of the movie. The rest of the movie is firmly focused on the characters and this main family and the struggles that they have to go through in the aftermath of the wave. Now, I really want to applaud this movie for its presentation of the after effects of a disaster like this, because a lot of disaster movies, they're more focused on, you know, the actual disaster itself with all of the action and the special effects and everything, whereas this one, it shows you immediately after what has happened to this town and what it's like, and it's like genuinely horrifying. It is truly disturbing and just grotesque. It's awful. I actually found that to be really refreshing because a lot of the times in disaster movies, you know, our heroes will escape and they'll get out okay and then everything's happy and hunky-dory and yay, but not here. Like, the thing happens and it's really tragic, and it's almost heartbreaking to see what this wave has done to this community. I also really like that the movie is very tight and focused on the main characters and this main family. There aren't all these different side characters and all these different scientists and news people, and just there's a very small cast and they focus exclusively on them, and because of that, it allows you to really connect with them and empathize with them and just kind of really feel with what they're going through in the wake of this disaster. It's not really about them running from set action piece to set action piece. They find themselves in a really dire situation, and the whole movie is about them trying to get out of this situation. It creates this really tense and really exciting atmosphere, and it does a good job of making you just kind of like squirm in your seat with some of the stuff that they have to do, because some of it is really like, ugh. And there's one scene in particular where they're trapped in a room with a stranger, and they have to do something and it's really uncomfortable, but like you understand why they have to do it. It's so heartbreaking. I really like that this movie is not a big special effects driven action fest. It's mostly just focused on the characters and the relationships, and that's where the real heart of this movie comes from. It takes its time when setting up the characters, you know, it's not all about the disaster, so I'd say we spend a solid 30 or 40 minutes just kind of getting to know the characters, listening to them, seeing how they function as a family, and you really get to know and care for them. That's what makes it all the more horrific when the wave finally does hit, because it feels real. You feel like these characters are in actual danger and that something bad could happen to them. I mean, it does happen to them, but worse things could happen to them at any moment. It does a really good job of sort of showing what it would be like in the real world for people who live in dangerous places, you know, like on the coast or next to a volcano or something like that, where disasters could strike at any moment. And you never really know how bad that disaster is going to be until it actually happens to you and you see the carnage that ensues. And that's what I think a lot of other bigger budget Hollywood disaster movies lose, is that they focus so much on the spectacle that they lose the humanity in the disaster. And that's what this movie does a really good job of capturing. And let me just say that the wave itself, even though it's only in the movie for 10 minutes, it is legitimately terrifying. It looks horrific. It comes in super fast. It's dark. It's at night. It looks great. The effects on it are so well done. It is legitimately scary. Now, it doesn't do anything necessarily groundbreaking or revolutionary for the genre. It is still just a very straightforward disaster movie, but it's made with a lot of heart, and it takes a lot of time to really develop these characters and make them feel like real people. It's a really good disaster movie, and if you're into the genre, you are definitely going to enjoy this film. I think it definitely is a step above the rest of the pack, and even if you're not into the genre, it has some good action moments, and it has some really good character-driven drama and turmoil thrown in there as well. It's solidly put together, it's focused, it's well made. I give The Wave a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, I know I've been away for a while because, again, summer has been happening, but summer is finally coming to an end, and it's the end of September, which means October is almost here, which is the best time of the year, always. So be sure to tune in next month, and I'm going to be bringing you lots of spooky, fun, fantastic, amazing times. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited to be doing Halloween proper this year. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and share it with all your friends. I would really appreciate that. You can also head over to Twitter and over to Facebook and follow me on there. And as always, if you want to know your flicks, you know where to click. Happy hunting, guys. I'll see you next time.